Welcome to All Things San Antonio, the ultimate podcast dedicated to the heart and soul of the Alamo City. I'm one of your hosts, Brad Burns.
And I'm Ken Carter.
And together, we're your guides on this exciting journey through an inside look of San Antonio's culture, history, and community.
In each episode, we'll uncover the hidden gems, share captivating stories, and explore the vibrant neighborhoods that make San Antonio so special.
Whether you're born and raised San Antonian or just passing through, our podcast will bring you closer to the essence of this incredible city. From the mouth-watering cuisine to the iconic Riverwalk, we've got it all covered.
So whether you're planning your next visit, looking for insider tips, or simply want to immerse yourself in the unique charm of San Antonio, you're in the right place. Sit back, relax, and let's embark on a captivating journey through all things San Antonio.
Don't forget to subscribe so you never miss an episode. Let's go. San Antonio!
Let's rodeo San Antonio.
Let's rodeo San Antonio. Welcome to All Things San Antonio podcast with your host, Brad Burns and
Cowboy Ken Carter.
Cowboy Ken Carter. Let's go. So we're rolling right into rodeo season here in San Antonio. For those that don't know, San Antonio has one of the largest indoor rodeos year after year. So if you go to the AT&T Center or the Frost Center, as it's called now, where the rodeo's at, you'll see all the banners up in the top of the Raptors saying how many years straight it's been one of the best rodeos.
I think the best large rodeo. I was just there for the Burt Kreischer comedy special or comedy tour, or whatever it is, and I noticed that they have all the rodeo stuff up there on the board. And it's another something that's very unique to San Antonio, is because our rodeo is in the same place that our beloved Spurs play. And so every year, this year it doesn't matter as much because they're not necessarily, I think they may, or are they officially out of contention at this point? But
probably pretty close.
Pretty close, but but the only city San Antonio's the only place that, since they have the rodeo at the same time in the middle of the season, they always get this extended road trip. When they're going to be gone for the next 2.5-3 weeks, so no home games, but there's still lots to do in San Antonio. A lot of great acts coming for the rodeo this year. Yeah,
so they call it the Spurs Rodeo Road Trip. So they go on road for about 3 weeks, play elsewhere. You talked about you were just there. I actually went last night. Watched the Wizards play the Spurs. I thought we were really going to win it.
How floor seats were those floor seats?
Second row, they were pretty nice. And we talked about the Raptors and the banners up there. And what it looks like is they've ran out of room for rodeo banners. So they started compiling. So one banner had like 2011, 2012, 2013, 2014. Yeah. So they really kind of just started compiling them together.
But I think there's a big push right now for San Antonio to build a new arena for the Spurs in the hemisphere. I think it's supposed to be in the hemisphere area.
Yeah, downtown.
In downtown and everything, which I think would be. I don't know the nuts and bolts of the finances of it and what good it will do, but I know that as we move forward into the Wembyama years, those extended road trips during the middle of the season are not going to be beneficial. So hopefully we get it done. Any progress for San Antonio is good progress, but when going to the rodeo and coming up with Fiesta and everything, do you have a favorite trailer? It's a food booth, carnival food, yeah.
Yes, I would say my favorite carnival food is probably chicken on a stick with a jalapeno on top. Sometimes they put the roll at the bottom to kind of catch the grease dripping down. Oh yeah, so you can't beat chicken in a stick.
There's especially if they dip it into all the way, like they should, dip it all the way into the jalapeno juice because again that vinegar that's one of the best things. I'm all about a funnel cake all day, any day. Like I love funnel cakes, but I don't need the strawberries on it. Just a little powdered sugar. A little bit of sugar rush and carbohydrates is good for you.
Funnel cakes are so good. I just hate that they're so messy.
They can be a bit messy. The get white powder all over the place, and make sure that you
got people wondering.
Got people thinking twice. Making sure you got to get it cleaned up and everything.
Did you go to the cowboy breakfast?
I didn't make it this year. I remember as I was growing up, the question: are we going to skip school? Are we not going to skip school? But yeah, the cowboy breakfast is great. I saw that as last week before everybody's coming to town, they actually did a live action performance in Bandera, the cowboy capital of the world, right down the street. One of the restaurants there where they had a guy acting like he owned some cattle that was grazing on somebody else's property, and that guy was upset, and they had a whole little gunfight in downtown Bandera, which is pretty fun.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah, I love the cowboy breakfast. The first year they actually had it at the Frost Center right there on Gambler Road near the Frost Center. It's usually held at Cowboys Dance Hall, and now they've transitioned it over. I think the city started running it a little more. And it's overall, I mean, just a great tradition.
Yeah, when I was a kid, they used to have it at the mall out here, where now there's no more. Where the Sears, it was, North Star Mall, and the mall across
across the street. Yeah,
was it Central Park Mall? Is that what they called that?
No, that one wasn't Central Park. I don't know what that one was called, but now they have a movie theater and Penn Stack and kind of some different things in there.
It's crazy that the city has gotten so big and changed so much that now we can forget malls.
Yeah, well, you remember, so where Rack Space just moved from, it was a Windsor Park Mall.
Windsor Park Mall. First time I ever saw Shaquille O'Neal was walking down in Windsor Park Mall. He was on break from LSU when he was still going to school down there. He was a huge man. Huge man.
Yeah, I remember Windsor Park Mall had that carousel in the middle of it. I remember riding that a few times.
By the Orange Julius.
Yeah.
Now, Rackspace kept it. They still had the carousel, and they had some other things from the mall.
But did they keep Orange Julius?
They didn't keep Orange Julius. You know what? One of the coolest things I thought that they did, I worked there in 2008 to like 2011, and like all of the stores that shut down, the glass from the display cases, they painted the back of them white, and that was all the whiteboards when people would use the dry erase and stuff like that in different conference rooms. It was the back of old display, and they had little stickers on that said this came out of JCPenney or this one came out of such and such and everything. Part of their making sure it's staying green and recycling as much as possible.
That's cool. Did you watch the football games this weekend?
How could you not watch the football? This is the only time to start watching football. I don't pay attention until now.
Oh man, did you see the Detroit Falcons?
The Detroit Falcons?
Yeah, they did just like Atlanta did and messed up and lost the lead and lost the game and ultimately got put out.
The 49ers wanted a little bit more. It's going to be I love all the controversy and conspiracy that it's all been planned out, that with Travis Kelce and Taylor Swift, that they're not even really in a relationship. This is all just a storybook in the background for us. But if we were going to live in a simulation, this is the kind of things that would happen in a simulation.
My wife was telling me that Taylor Swift is going to have some problems getting to the Super Bowl.
I saw something like that. She's got a concert like in Tokyo or something like that.
Yeah, she has a concert in Tokyo the day before that's supposed to end at like 5:30 in the morning.
I think I saw
Las Vegas time.
I think your wife and I are on similar TikTok streams because I think that's where I saw it too. Yeah, like based on when her performance ends, like if it goes to like to 11 o'clock at night and then midnight, like just time wise, she'll probably show up like at 8 p.m., which I think is
gonna be tight
after it started and everything. But I mean, I don't think the Chiefs actually need her to win the Super Bowl. They might, and we'll see how the beginning of the game starts off and how it goes after she shows up. Because I'm sure there's going to be a camera somewhere that says, "Okay, Taylor's here," and let us know.
Oh, everybody's gonna know. And I mean, I don't know if you've noticed, but when the camera goes on Taylor, they cheer more for Taylor than they do for the Chiefs.
And at the end of the day, you've got a lot of diehard football fans that are really upset about Taylor Swift. But it's all about money at the end of the day for these leagues and these team owners. And Travis Kelce is selling more jerseys because of it. So everybody's making out just fine. And it's good for it. It's good for the sport. It's like it's bringing more people to watch it. I mean, it can't hurt.
No, I don't think so either. I do think it's pretty cool how the brothers are literally still in the NFL. Like, they're still in everybody's hearts in the NFL. They had Jason Kelce on the NFL show, the NFL Players show, and then now they have Travis with Taylor, and they have the podcast going and things like that. So it's super cool to see how much attention that they've brought to themselves.
Yeah.
And they're going to be able to use their football to build a legacy beyond football.
For real. And it's, if they didn't have their podcast and stuff, I wouldn't know. Like I personally, I don't follow football enough. I would have no idea who they are I will, if it wasn't for their podcast and the fame that they started getting, I don't think Travis would have had a shot at Taylor either. I think that had a little bit to do with it. I mean, he's not. I don't know.
Travis is pretty swaggy.
He's got a lot of swag, more than I got.
They had one of the best topics on their podcast, and we're kind of going off a little bit here, but one of the best topics on their podcast is: do you consider Waffle House a diner?
Yeah. Who doesn't?
Jason doesn't.
Well,
he considers it more of like a fast food restaurant because he said diners are more unique.
This is what you get from people from Ohio. I mean, like, there's no doubt about it. Like that, you go there, you sit down at a booth or at the counter, you get some coffee and you get some breakfast. It's a diner all day.
If you go past 10 o'clock, you have to know how to fight.
There's some good stories that happen after 2 o'clock in the morning for sure there. But at this end of the day, it's like I've told my kids, it's like if you're out after 11 o'clock, it used to be 10 o'clock, but now 11 o'clock. If you're out after that time, I mean, you should be aware of your surroundings anyway. My go-to parental advice to my kids has always been, it doesn't matter how fast, but you have to be moving, hopefully running for 30 minutes. Anytime anything goes down, whether you're at ACL or you're at a state fair or you're at the rodeo, these are all things can happen. It's like you just need to be able to start moving in a direction and not stopping for the next 30 minutes just to get away from it.
And get out of there.
Just to get out of there. But it's getting better.
Yeah, as I get older, I'm about to be 35 this year. I got some gray hair going. I'm not sure if y'all can see it in the camera, but as I get older, I really rely more on what my parents used to say. Hey, nothing good happens after 10 o'clock.
Yeah.
So I try to be in the house before 10 o'clock. As I've gotten old, I don't like driving at night. I don't like doing any of that. Like I will drive in the dark, but after about 10 o'clock, I want to get home.
Well, that's why, unlike a lot of people, I am all for self-driving cars. I'm ready to stop driving. I'm ready to not worry about drunk drivers. I'm ready for all of that because it's not going to happen until it's safer. I mean, we've got statistics. We know how many people die each year on the road, and as soon as they can show that automated cars will cause one less, it's going to be mandated probably. But
well, did you see Tesla just had another recall?
I love the word recall. It's not a recall. It's an update. It's a software update to a device, no different than our phone. I see this all the time where people are want to say this about Tesla, that about Tesla, talk about how ugly the truck is, and it's ugly, but it also went faster than a Porsche while pulling a Porsche. They have some amazing things in the industry, the old industry, wants to kind of keep them down in saying that they have all these recalls where it's literally just a software update. It's the same thing that you do to our phones every week and a half just so that we can have a prettier picture.
Well, prove me wrong on that one. I guess now that I'm 35 now, I'm the older version now. So, but no, I think their trucks are hideous. I think they're cool looking because they're so unique, but ultimately they're so ugly that they're cool.
Yeah.
Kind of like when a baby's so ugly, like it's so ugly that it's cute. The truck is so ugly that it's kind of cool, but it's definitely not cool enough for me to go crazy about it like some of these people are.
I need to see it in person, up close and everything, because I still haven't seen the back to where it's like how it's a truck.
It has like a roll up. The tailgate has like a tailgate cover that rolls up over it.
Yeah.
You know what it reminds me of? I don't know if you ever seen
El Camino.
No. Have you ever seen Kobe Bryant's first shoe with Adidas?
No.
So it looks kind of that same way.
I didn't put it in my memory bank.
Yeah, we're gonna drop a picture in the comments. Kobe Bryant's first shoe looks like a Tesla truck. And they said the shoes were ugly.
They changed the shoe, didn't they?
Yeah, he moved over to Nike and that whole story. But yeah, his first shoes were with Adidas. That was his first shoe deal, I believe. And they were box looking. They look like a Cybertruck.
Well, Adidas aren't known for their basketball shoes. Really, like all of their cool shoes are very basic shoes. I'm not hip though. I mean, my daughter's probably screaming at me saying, "No, they got this shoe."
You can't go wrong with classic shell toe.
Can't go classic.
Classic shell toes are some of the best.
So it kind of changed a little bit. Talk about a little bit more about San Antonio, but still in the stay in that technology realm. I saw an article the other day where they want to basically turn downtown into Times Square with digital billboards up and down along the buildings and everything, current up-to-date type ads and stuff like that. And I just gonna go out on a limb, but I think that most of San Antonio is not going to be a big fan of it.
No, I'm not. I think it kills the historic nature of San Antonio and what we have.
Exactly. We're not a techie town like that. Like there's parts of San Antonio, but they're talking about in downtown San Antonio where it's very much the late 1800s, early 1900s kind of style and things like that, where things have been rejuvenated. We got some newer buildings in there as well. And it's the overall revenue that it said that it probably could bring into San Antonio is only like $750 to like $1 million, which is a lot of money. But it seems like we could find that money somewhere else and do something that's not so tacky.
Yeah, I think if it was me doing it, maybe like a section of town and have that. Maybe on a high traffic intersection, maybe up around La Cantera, maybe somewhere in there, and have like a section where you roll through a bunch of billboards. But man, I would hate for them to ruin or mess up the appeal of all those historic buildings that we have downtown.
Agreed. And one of the things that they say, the benefits of it, other than the revenue, is that it'll make the downtown brighter, more light, and then in turn safer and things like that. But again, I don't think our downtown is in such a terrible way that we need that much extra security for one.
Yeah.
But I think it's going the wrong direction. It's not anything that's going to be beneficial to San Antonio. It's going to take away from our appeal for sure.
I see that they're trying to ban or take out the horse carriages downtown.
I'm not opposed to that.
I'm not either. I think, did I tell you about how I got hustled?
No.
So on our anniversary, we went down and we stayed at the Thompson. And we went to go eat at Bohannon's. So we took an Uber from the Thompson to Bohannon's. We could have walked, but you have to walk through Travis Park. And my wife was pregnant, and there's a bunch of riffraff there sometimes, and we just didn't want to have to deal with that. And so we took an Uber there, and as we were walking back to go back to the hotel, I saw the horse carriages, and I was like, oh, man, we should ride a horse carriage. So I went up, and I asked the lady that was controlling it or driving it, I said, hey, can you take us to the Thompson? And she was like, yeah, we could take you there. So cool, we hopped in, and it was August, the beginning of August, so it was hot, and it was at night. And then she said, hey, y'all want a tour too? And I was like, oh, sure, it's our anniversary. Like, we'll take a tour. We'll be tourists in our own town. So we're going through the little tour. It's probably like 90 degrees out. There's no wind. It's hot. It smells like horse. And then you're just going, it's like, I could have walked faster than it. And my personality, like, it was just wasting so much of my time. It was driving me crazy. And then we go back through Travis Park, back to the hotel. And I'm like, man, I really didn't think this out. Like, we took an Uber to the restaurant to be, like, insulated from the riffraff. And, like, we're in an open carriage, and, like, somebody could just jump in there. Like, you never know.
I don't think that happens too often.
You never know. And so that was kind of my idea behind it. I was like, man, I'm going to have to fight 4 people. My wife's pregnant. I'm going to have to fight her too. And then we get to the hotel. And I said, hey, how much was this? I should have asked in the beginning, right?
I don't even want to
So
know.
I asked, how much was it? And she was like, oh, it's just $94. And I was like, 90. I could have took a $7 Uber and had AC and been here 15 minutes sooner. $94.
And that smell doesn't rub off. You're gonna take a shower after that.
No, it's crazy. So yeah, luckily, I mean, we got upgraded. So I don't know if you know or not, but if you have an American Express Platinum card, and the Thompson is considered a fine hotel or a fine,
Little boutique.
yeah, more of a luxury hotel. So because we had the Amex card, we got our room upgraded. So I bought the least expensive room, or I rented it out for the night, and then we get there and they upgraded it to like one of the best suites.
That's cool.
They gave us like a $200 credit to spend at the hotel for either the valet parking, the restaurants, any of that stuff. And they gave us like a $50 voucher for the breakfast in the morning. You're able to check in at noon, and then you can check out at 4 o'clock.
The late checkout's always a benefit. We're always asking for it when we go on our volleyball trips and different things. So let me ask you a question. How many Amex points do you have?
So I use mine. So I typically, when I fly out for conferences and whatnot,
Yeah.
I use them to fly out first class so I don't have to pay for them. So right now I'm probably only around 120, 130,000 points.
The other day I saw a TikTok it had showed Dave Portnoy from Barstool Sports like sliding his card and checking how many points. It had like 45 million points because he never uses them.
He must spend a lot of money too.
He spends quite a bit of money, but he also has. He said he's never. That's when you were talking about Amex. I was thinking about that. Can you imagine what he could get with 45 million points though?
Yeah,
like
quite a bit.
Whole sets of golf clubs with a golf trip included and everything.
Oh, easily. So I thought that was pretty cool. I didn't even know that existed. So we got to the hotel. We didn't check in at noon because we didn't know about that. And so when I went to like give them my card for the incidentals or whatever, they were like, oh. And I always joke around with the hotel people. And I say, hey, y'all have any suites or any kind of room upgrades that y'all want to give us or torture us with? And she's like, oh, no, you're an American Express card. Here's this paper with all the benefits. And then we upgrade you automatically if the room's available. So it was pretty cool. Like in the hallway, they had like the water station where you can fill up your water jugs. So it was like still, and they had a tap for sparkling. And so, I'm a sparkling water fan. And I was like, this is the best hotel ever.
That's cool. You don't get that. That's definitely, I would like that. We're drinking our sparkling waters right now.
Yeah. And then I don't know if you knew this or not, but we talk about things to do here in San Antonio. So there's a restaurant called Land Race that's in the Thompson Hotel. So the Thompson Hotel, for those that don't know, is a hotel. It has a rooftop lounge called the Moon's Daughter, and it's at almost the very top, or maybe the very top. They have a rooftop pool. They also have condos that they sell in there as well. So if you're looking to live that condo life, hit us up. Let's go out to the Thompson. But getting back to the point, Lands Race, the restaurant downstairs, actually has a riverboat ride to where I think it's called Bagels and Bubbles. And I think it's like $80 a person or something like that. I haven't been on it yet, but I was reading up on it. And you can actually go, you have breakfast on the boat as it's cruising around and you're getting the tour of the city. So that's something pretty cool for a lot of people that might not have known that.
Yeah. There's not enough of us take advantage of some of the touristy things, the staycation ideas here in San Antonio. There's a lot of great places. Tying it into the Pearl, like going people watching and all the great restaurants there. The Hotel Emma is an amazing hotel. It's got a great restaurant downstairs there. So there's always like some really cool things that you can do that staying in San Antonio and kind of experience that tourist. There's a reason why we have millions of people come to San Antonio all the time. Yeah,
and us locals don't take advantage of it a lot of times. So one of the places that we like to go to quite often is our local business spotlight. Right now is called the Rosebush.
Yep. Food truck area, kind of, they've got an area where you can reserve a room and have like events and stuff like that.
Yeah, so they have, so Rosebush is a BYOB food truck area. They have Philly famous cheesesteaks, which I heard was owned by Malik Rose.
Yes. I don't know if he
still owns it. But I heard that it was owned by him at one point in time, and they used to be in the quarry.
Well, I think that's why they call it the Rose Bush, because of Malik Rose.
Yeah.
I think he's still part of it.
And then they have King Crab Seafood, Yo-Yo Ramen, and Cluckstruck, a wing truck.
A wing plus. Yeah, they got some wings there.
Yeah. So it's pretty cool. Like they have inside area you can go inside and eat, and you can also rent it out for parties and events and things like that. And then outside they have picnic tables, cornhole, a playground, a basketball court. I think they have a ping pong table. They have all kinds of stuff out there to where you can go kind of just hang out, chill out, and have a good time.
Or like a little like an ice house type place that has a lot of like those food halls that they're building up a lot of places. And with my kids and having a bunch of kids and everything, when we go out to eat, I love going to places like that because I'll get a Philly's cheesesteak. Somebody else will get some wings. Somebody else will get the ramen. My kids love ramen, and so it's always great to go to those places where not everybody has to be forced to eat the same thing, because it's all too often there's always one person that's like, I don't want pizza tonight. I don't want this tonight. Go to a place that has multiple options and everything. That way you can have a chance to play. One of our family hacks is if you're going to a place that doesn't have games and things that you can play, we always keep a deck of cards in a purse or a bag or in the car or something. So when we go to a restaurant, we're playing King's Corner, kind of solitaire type games for multiple players though, gin rummy type games, stuff like that. So it's always a good idea to have something to keep everybody busy and engage with each other and not looking at their screens.
Yeah, I was about to just say that. That's a great idea to keep everybody off the phones.
Yeah.
It's so easy to just get distracted on the phone.
And easy games like Crazy 8 and stuff like that. Little things that are a lot of age groups can play with the little younger kids and everything as well. But again, it's developing time to talk and everything while waiting for the food to come and everything like that. Sometimes you got to pick up the cards real quick though, because the food comes out a little bit quicker.
Oh yeah, you got to be ready. You got to be ready to end it at any moment.
Yeah. But it's always just a little family hack.
Yeah. So our go-to. So what we did this weekend, went to the Rose Bush, had Philly cheesesteaks. I love their Philly cheesesteaks. They're on fresh bread. They're good. If you haven't been there, check out the Rose Bush. It's on San Pedro. You will not regret it.
It's on our list.
Yeah, so we go from the Rose Bush, and then after that, we usually get some kind of dessert, something like that. So our go-to spot for ice cream and dessert is actually the Baskin Robbins on New Braunfels in Alamo Heights. Oh. So we always go over there, hang out there.
The Sunset Ridge shopping area. Yeah.
So that's kind of our go-to. Kids love the Baskin Robbins and Philly cheesesteaks.
It's a great area because you've got like the little benches and everything, and like a little gazebo that you can sit under.
Yeah, it's cool. I mean, you don't have to sit inside. You can sit outside, and it's a nice area, and people watch. There's all different types of people that come in there.
Always time to people watch.
Yeah, that's one of my favorite. Last time we were in there was this guy with no shoes, and it was like 30 degrees outside. And I was like, man, your toes must be frozen because mine are cold.
I really wanted some ice cream.
I
was in a rush. I didn't grab my sandals.
I didn't say it was you. I didn't want to let everybody know that.
Well, that wraps up this episode of All Things San Antonio. We appreciate you staying tuned and watching and subscribing and liking our channel.
Do us a favor, hit that like and subscribe button. Let us know in the comments what you would like us to talk about next.